This is Zaza.
Hi.
And her dog, Pecorino. They're on a mission to find
Hold on, Pecorino.
and to make the perfect pie. Hi pizza lovers, I'm Elena with Zaza's Perfect Pie, and today I'm gonna make something really special. It's really easy. It's a pizza dough without yeast. I know, very exciting. So I know a lot of you are stuck at home and you might not have yeast, or the grocery store might be out of it. Whichever the case, you can now make pizza dough without it. So I'm gonna show you the super simple method of how you do that. And you're gonna need a few things to get started. First of all, a big mixing bowl. I like this pink one. You will also need a whisk for mixing. And you'll need a pizza pan. I have a round one, but you can use any shape you have. And I have this piece of parchment paper that I'm gonna put on here. If you don't have parchment paper, you can just put a little olive oil on your baking pan so it doesn't stick. That's all the equipment you need. Now for ingredients. Also very simple. 2 cups of all-purpose flour. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. A tablespoon of olive oil. And some water. I've got about 3/4 cup plus a little bit extra, and we're gonna add it gradually, so we'll see how we do, because we don't want it to be too sticky. All right, are you guys ready to go? Okay, so the first step is that we're gonna put our flour into this mixing bowl. Get all of it in there. And then we are gonna add our baking powder and our salt. And then we're gonna take this handy whisk and just make sure that it's all mixed up. You want all these dry ingredients to be all mixed up. Okay. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a little well in the center. You just take your hand and you stick it in there in the bowl and you push all of the dry ingredients to the side so there's a hole in the middle. And this is where we're gonna pour our olive oil and our water. So I'm gonna take my olive oil and I'm gonna pour it into the center. Ooh. And then I'm gonna start to take my water, and I'm only gonna put in a 1/2 cup so far. It's about right, maybe a little more. And then I'll probably add some more, but we're gonna have to see how this goes first. Okay, now I think it's pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna knead it, and this is the super fun part. So we're gonna put it on our tabletop. This is gonna make you nice and strong. I'm gonna put that bowl back there. So I'm gonna get it in my hands, and you'll see it's still a little crumbly, but once I start to knead it, it's gonna come together. And if it's too crumbly, I can add a little bit more water, and if it's too wet, I can add a little bit more flour. Okay, so 15 minutes and we'll meet back here. Okay, we are back. Our dough has taken a little cat nap for 15 minutes, and now we are gonna stretch it out. So, voila, here it is. And I'm gonna get my prepared pizza pan, this guy, and I have rubbed this piece of parchment with a little bit of olive oil. If you don't have olive oil, again, if you don't have olive oil, we might have some problems. If you don't have parchment paper, you can put a little bit of olive oil right on the pan, just so your pizza doesn't stick, because if you can't get the pizza off the pan, then you can't eat it. Okay, I'm gonna take this little guy off and place him in the center like so. And then I'm just gonna take the heel of my hand and press down. Ooh. And so the middle flattens out, and then I can just continue pressing all the way around till I get a round shape. Now this dough is kind of like Play-Doh, so I can make a lot of different shapes with this that maybe I couldn't make as easily with regular pizza dough because it bounces back so much. So I think I'm going to make a heart shape, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So first I'm going to stretch it out, and I'm going to press it into a bit of a heart shape already. So I'm going to take these little bump sides and push them out like the top of a heart. And I'm going to pull the point down like this. So I have the point at the bottom of the heart. I'm going to continue going. But then we need a little crease at the top. If you mess up, you can kind of just like push it back together. It's very forgiving. Other shapes you could make like a bow tie. You could make, let's see, I don't know. You could make a square. You don't have to make it round. You could make it smile. You could put a big hole in it and just make a monster. Why not? It's your pizza. Do what you want with it. Okay, so we still have to make the crease at the top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a utensil. A butter knife would be best, but you can even use this back of a spoon. And I'm just gonna drag it down like this. So I have the top of my heart, and it's perfect. I'm just gonna press it down a little bit. Oh my gosh, we are going to have the cutest pizza. It is heart-shaped, it's amazing. Okay, so the next step here is I have my heart shape. I'm gonna brush it with a little olive oil on the top, and then I'm gonna par-bake it in the oven. So par-baking means partially baked, and the reason that we're gonna do that is so that when we put our toppings on, we don't want them to absorb into this dough since it's not really a regular bread dough. So we want to make sure it doesn't get soggy. Soggy pizza, no good. We want crispy pizza. So we're gonna par-bake it, set your oven to 425, and we're gonna bake it for 8 minutes. Now, the other awesome thing about par-baking is that you could bake off a bunch of crusts and keep them in your freezer for up to 2 months, wrap them up tightly, or just keep them in your fridge and bake them up later that night or the next night. They'll keep in the fridge for a couple days. So it's a really great way to batch some pizza doughs and just bake them when you want. So we're gonna put this guy in the oven, 8 minutes, 425, and then we will be back and I'll show you what we've got. Okay, we have rescued our par-baked pizza dough from the oven, and I've used my handy oven mitts because it's very, very hot. It has retained its gorgeous little heart shape. I'm gonna show you guys. Ooh, look at that, so nice. So, our next step is to top it. Now at this point, you could put it in the fridge, you could freeze it, all these things. But if you want to see what I'm going to put on it, you're going to have to tune in next time and I will show you. All right, thanks everybody.